All right. It is 11:25 Eastern Time. Our Miami Dolphins the game has just finished. The Miami Dolphins fall to 5-2 after a loss, losing 31-17 to the Philadelphia Eagles. So much to talk about in this game. So much, whether it was the things that we discussed before the game throughout the weekend, things that were concerns for this team that showed up in its ugly head. I know, what you might bring up. I really am not in the mood to bring it up, which is the officiating.
How can you not? 70 years ago, Bobby. I just went through the stats of the rest of the game. I don't care if that's a determining factor of the game. The last time this happened was 70 years ago that a team played 4 quarters without one God-forsaken penalty. Not one flag. This is a league that throws too many flags, and 3 times today. It was in the Browns game, it was in the Rams game, and in this game where the referees determine the course of a football game. Raheem Mostert being tackled before the interception, whether it was a bad throw or not. Cedric Wilson being pulled. David Long being tackled. The fact Lane Johnson hasn't given up a sack in 3 years, and the only way Jalen Phillips still somehow got a sack on him with him barreling down on him and grabbing him by the neck. I have never seen in my life such a horseshit game in my life. I don't care what the score is. The fact that Sirianni is sitting there next to them, next to the ref, joking around with them after this play was actually called, was beyond me. 70 years ago in the NFL, my closest cousin tells me every game how games are rigged every week. At the beginning of the year, the NFL was making fun of itself, and they had directors, and they had Jamar Chase, and they had Patrick Mahomes on a screen, and how they're expected to throw this play, that play. How does the team with the staunchest defensive line, offensive line, and plays the dirtiest game in the league not get one God-forsaken penalty? I'm not saying that we didn't deserve our penalties, but not one call? That completely slanted the game. When McDaniel finally lost it on the Cedric Wilson call, how the guy gets pulled by the freaking face mask and you don't call that. I don't care what the score was in the game. You took away any chance of the Dolphins winning this game because every chance there was a chance to be called a penalty on the Eagles, you never called it once. Not one. And there was 4 or 5 blatant in-your-face calls. I don't care. We'll get to the game. But let's just be clear. 70 years. 70 years.
Sure.
Your parents aren't even that old.
So
they were wearing leather helmets. They weren't wearing face masks back then.
Listen, I'm not saying the reason why I said trust me, I was texting about it, and I was actually talking about it. It was ridiculous.
And by the way, I will tell you this on this network.
Utterly and blatantly disgusting.
I will not be on a show for a very far distant future with a particular person of this network because he continued to blame the Dolphins on this game. It was not the refs' fault. Give me a freaking break. That just tells you I'm not blaming the refs for the loss. I'm blaming for the refs for the foundational aspect of the respect of the football game.
But that's my point. Hold on. First of all, hold on.
I don't care about the loss. I don't care.
Hold on. First of all, that's my point when I said at the beginning, the top of the show. I'm not going to rag on the officiating. The officiating was horrible. It was one-sided. It was blatantly and utterly disgusting. It's bullshit that any penalty call was not called, even the face mask. That could have been, but that did not cost the Dolphins the game. The referees did not cost the Dolphins this football game.
No, the tush push did. I've never seen a joke. That has to be something has to be done there because no matter what, they're the only team in the league, that's able to foundation
again,
and they're never offside. And they're
I'm not going to put it on one thing.
And they're
the
never
secondary.
offside.
The secondary. I told you the Dolphins struggle against top 10 defenses, and they struggled today against a top 10 defense in the NFL. The offensive line played like the offensive line of last year.
3 backups.
Tough shit. Next man up. They play like trash today.
What? Then there's
fact or fiction?
Did they play
fact or fiction?
Yeah, they did not play great today.
Okay. So you're absolutely right. The referee
still put up 17 points. But you want to know what? A lot of the plays continue to.
Offense only scored 10.
By the way, they scored. By the way, they actually didn't because the touchdown they scored
or 7
on one of the plays on Christian Wilkins roughing the passer. Now, let me just tell you something about roughing the passer. I will stop watching the NFL if they continue to make plays.
I'm not crying about the refs. I just said I'm not worried about the refs.
No, But that call, you're saying that we didn't play well. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts didn't play well today. We gave them a game. Christian Wilkins had one step.
But see, here's the thing: the Eagles did enough to win.
15.
Miami did not.
Are you kidding me? 50
No.
Did
penalty. You not watch the game? Did you not see what I saw? The Eagles did exactly what I said they were going to do. What?
The defense gave it to them.
The offense gave it to them. If anybody, the defense did what they should have done. We expected what we saw from the defense today. The offense, the number one offense in the NFL, only put 7 points. 7 points.
Well, he should have kicked
I told you before this football game. I told you before this game, fact or fiction, that the Dolphins struggle against top 10 defenses. They laid an egg tonight. They laid an egg. It's not on the defense. It's not on the refs. It was a total dump by the Dolphins. It's not on one thing. The tush push or not. The tush push, you know what the tush push told me tonight? We need to get a stout defensive lineman in there. We need a D tackle, a true D tackle.
Well, Christian Wilkins lost money today again. I've never seen a guy line up as poorly as he did. The defensive passing, that roughing the passer call, they better figure out in the NFL. I didn't realize this was how soft the NFL was, that a quarterback cannot be touched after he throws a football. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen such garbage. Did the team play? Neither team, I think, played a great game today. I think the Dolphins just played worse.
Sure.
The 31 point thing, for example, going forward on fourth down, when he should have kicked the field goal, was wrong. I'm sorry, that was wrong. Liam Eichenberg, I don't care what anybody says. If I see Liam Eichenberg,
he set himself right back up.
No, Liam Eichenberg on 3 consecutive plays effed up. On 3 consecutive snaps, he threw one that was so high that he couldn't get it to Ahmed. Then he underthrew, and I don't know how Tua made that throw. And on the third one, he had no time to throw the ball. I have never seen such the blocking. I have never seen such Julian Hill, the poor penalties. The blocking of this team today was absolute garbage on the offensive line. Butch Berry coached his worst game. I don't care who was on the offensive line. You did not call that right. And I don't care what. And also on the running plays, why are you using Savon Ahmed in this game? Why aren't you using Jeff Wilson? I don't care if it's first game back. You're trying to protect the player. The only time it worked is when they went outside. Why are you going up the middle against this defensive front? Are you bananas, Mike McDaniel? Are you crazy? What were you doing there all game? Tua made one bad throw. Dave, I'm with you. Tua made one bad throw. I agree. The same way that Jalen Hurts made 2 bad mistakes today. Jalen Hurts made more mistakes than Tua today, but the difference is on the play where Darius Slay caught the ball, he put it too much in the air. The biggest problem with that was that should have been a pass interference to begin with because the guy was mauled. The guy was literally mauled, Raheem Mostert, in the end zone. He was mauled. So I don't care.
Tua had no business throwing it there. There were 3 guys in that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there were plays that continued the Eagles' drives tonight that called on us that they never called on the Eagles. Not one time. Not one time did they continue the drives. I don't care about the karma and the ball never lies. There's something about momentum of the offensive side of the ball. And on the play with Cedric Wilson, that would have continued the drive. Tyreek Hill, shame on him for dropping that football. There were plays that were missed, okay? There were plays that were missed. I understand that. But
we'll get to the comments. We'll get to the comments.
Yeah,
Keep it.
Okay. All I want to say is I'm angry for the sole purpose of not the fact that they're pretenders. It's the fact that because of the narrative
I'm not ready to say that yet. Not ready to say that yet.
The narrative of this game is this is a soft football team, and no one except Emmanuel Ocho is going to have the gall or the koyach in Judaism to say that the refs screwed the Dolphins tonight. No, I'm telling you this again. I will repeat this again. I don't care what the score in the game was. Respect for the NFL, respect for a sport. I teach my kids in their sports when I coach them to give their own effort. But when a game is so lopsided that the refs, who I rather them throw too many penalties tonight than throw none. How do you blatantly after the half have a conversation? There's a guy helping the network, the New York, called the league going, you want to know what? You guys aren't calling a very even game. They literally went the whole effing game without throwing one flag. I don't care what anybody says, 70 years. That means that's like 10,000 football games. And this is the last time they haven't thrown a flag against a team that's the dirtiest team in the NFL by a mile.
So let me just say,
I don't care about the game. It's beyond me to watch a football game, to see people getting hurt, to see people getting thrown around and not being touched. They horse collared two of our players today. Didn't even call it. It was right in front of their face. Right in front of their face. The league making fun of itself that it's rigged. They should be embarrassed. Like the fact that the Rams lost a game today.
Okay, yeah, okay. Hold on. Let me just ask this point because you keep bringing. Hold on. You keep bringing up the referees. Hold on. First of all, no doubt, I don't think anybody would argue.
3 NFL games today.
Hold on. No one would argue that the referee. It was disgustingly obvious with what the referees did today. It was horrible.
But it
one-sided.
Takes away
it was
the
a
respect
joke.
of the game.
But do you truly believe that the referees cost the Dolphins this game today?
I think they played a role in the momentum of the game. Would the Dolphins have guaranteed a win? No. Would the game have been closer? Yes. Because Christian Wilkins roughing the passer call is a joke. When you have the referee, the guy who's with the network, who's literally saying on those two plays how bad the refs were tonight, and he's saying that is not roughing the passer, and those refs are calling roughing the passer. If you're in this league, if you're going to allow calling the spot of the ball, where you're allowed to see where the guy's out of bounds, you should be able to throw the flag on a defensive pass interference. You should be able to call the ball whenever the fuck you want. Honestly, excuse my language. You should be able to throw the flag whenever the heck you want. Because the fact that they should not have a replay, they'll see the pull of a face mask, to see the fact that the guy was roughing the passer is a joke. It's an absolute joke.
All right, so overall NFL, you're just I got you. Okay.
The fact that Kenny Pickett's coming off that field today looking like he's a hero with the Rams, he was not even close to a first down. PJ Walker threw the ball, God knows where. They got screwed today, the Colts. The Colts got screwed. You're talking about two teams fighting for playoff spots in the Rams and the Colts and now the Dolphins, and you're letting referees determine the fluctuation of a football game. It's a joke. You'd rather have robots there. Use lasers for all I care.
Excuse us, Dave. You're right. Evan, there are kids watching. Try to watch your tone, sir. Watch your tone. All right. So listen. All right. Let's. I know you say you don't care about the game because you're going to, but we are going to touch on the game
because the game is going to be. We're going to be laughed at the entire week.
Who gives a crap? Who cares?
No, but that's why I hate this league right now, where the refs play a role in the determination of a game, because now people are going to see the score. Oh, the Dolphins got lost by 2 touchdowns. Everyone I know tomorrow is going to be ripping me a new one. Oh, the Dolphins aren't such big shit now. I go, did you watch the game? Do you know anything about the NFL?
So very quick.
They did not adjust. They adjusted a little bit in the second half, but in the first half, he did not adjust to the fact that the running game wasn't working. He should have gone to the passing game much earlier, Mike McDaniel. We handled A.J. Brown early, but then we just let him roll.
Let me just say very quick, because I know
today was a disaster.
I'm going to go week by week. Okay, guys, I know everybody's already talking about the Chiefs, and I get it. I understand it. All right. And the Chiefs is the game where I will, that I could say is a conversation we can have about pretenders, contenders.
I don't care if we're contenders or pretenders today.
Hold on. So the thing I want to talk about with the Chiefs, the 2 games we have coming up here. All right. And again, the Dolphins have shown, doesn't matter how great their offense is on paper and statistically, the Miami Dolphins have shown that they have struggled against top 10 defenses. Next week and the week after, they go against 2 top 10 defenses. The Patriots, who beat Buffalo, credit to Evan, who called it.
Our squad. What was this? They dominate us today. I don't know what he's talking about.
And the Kansas City Chiefs, the 4th best defense in the NFL. Miami has to show up. I'm sorry. And we could go to the comments before we continue. I just want to make sure I read there. And again, everybody watching the Miami Dolphins postgame show on the FinStanza Sports Network. Appreciate everybody tuning in and commenting, no matter where you're from or where you're coming from. We appreciate it. Hit the like and subscribe button. The difference between everybody else is we give raw reaction. It's raw reaction. 48 hours, Evan be cooled down, could give you more.
No, I won't.
And
no, I won't. Not with this week.
Well, it's not on the referees.
I'll put it this way. I don't care. The Dolphins, I'm not crying about I don't want to hear what this idiot's saying. I don't care about the football game. We're going to talk about it. I'm talking about the integrity of the NFL. There are people who are putting.
Let me just say, hold on.
Who bet on these games? Who bet on spreads? Who put their?
Can you not? Hold on. What Jason is saying, first of all, and you don't have to, whatever. It's fan talk.
I think they're soft.
But the Dolphins were soft. The Eagles did bully the Dolphins today. There is no doubt. That's what I saw. We talk about the tush push. No, that's a part of the game. You don't like it so much? Stop it. The Dolphins could not stop it. It was ridiculous. I was more pissed off that the Dolphins couldn't stop him. I was more pissed off that the Dolphins got bullied on the offensive line and the defensive line. It showed how behind Miami is to the Eagles. And that's fair. And I said it before the game. You know, people can say whatever they want, realistic, all that bullshit crap they want to talk about. It's just what it is. And guess what? It showed up there. You don't have to watch the tape. You saw it. And anybody else could blame all the referees and everything else and call every little thing. But there's no doubt that the receivers of the Eagles bullied the secondary. The offensive line of the Eagles bullied the Dolphins' defensive line. The Eagles' offensive line bullied the Dolphins' defensive line, or vice versa, however I just said it. Miami has to regroup, and they need to have next week. They gotta come out and not have this close bullcrap type of game next week against the Patriots. They need to put some points on the board.
What happens next week against the Patriots? It's irrelevant.
No, it's relevant.
It's relevant to the
every game is relevant. Because when the Chiefs come around, when we go to Germany to play the Chiefs, a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense again, and you lay another egg, every game's going to freaking matter.
Well, we're not going to win that football game because Taylor Swift's going to be in Germany, and they're going to spend most of the time staring at her. The refs are going to be googly eyed at her whenever the Dolphins have the ball. They're never going to throw flags against Patrick Mahomes anyways. We know what the league wants. The league wants the Eagles and the Chiefs again in the Super Bowl. They want to repeat.
I ain't gonna entertain all that crap. I'm not gonna talk all that. I'm talking about the game. Talk about the game. Don't keep all that stuff out of here.
Bullshit. The Dolphins are
talk about what the Dolphins did wrong.
What the Dolphins do wrong?
Talk about that. Talk about the players. Tell me about the players.
The players are all the players on our football team do not rise to the occasion, and they are simply not good enough when they have to face upper echelon talent. Tyreek Hill made a mistake today, not having Jalen Ramsey there, not having Xavier Howard there, not having Teron Armstead there, not having our stars there when they had their stars made a significant difference in that game. If Teron Armstead's there on the offensive line, I don't think they get bullied the way that they did with Connor Williams. I do not think they get bullied the way that they did, having those two linemen there. If Jalen Ramsey is sitting there and so is X, we're not losing that football game. The talent on this football team was missing tonight. Devon Achane proved that he's the best running back we got. Mostert couldn't figure himself out till the second half, but they kept on going on the ball with Ahmed. I do not understand why they did not use Jeff Wilson. I have beyond my words. Bradley Chubb, to me, is overpaid. Jalen Phillips had his moments, but he's inconsistent. Christian Wilkins, to me, is not worth proof tonight. He's no leader of this football team, and it's not worth. If we want to win a Super Bowl, he ain't my star lineman. He's not worth 50. He's worth $15 million at the most. A penny more, Greer, you should be fired, because Christian Wilkins had 3 stupid penalties today. 3 stupid penalties. One shouldn't have been a penalty, but he took 3 stupid penalties that your captain of your defense should not be taken. Cater Crow, who made the best defensive play, but then he was overmatched against A.J. Brown. Eli Apple had 1 or 2 moments, but he was nothing special. When David Long got injured, that killed the momentum of that game because he was running all over the field. The moment we lost him in the third quarter, that hurt us. That play with him and Holland getting hit hurt us. Waddle going out kept the rate of speed, but once again, the blocking was awful. Ingold was awful tonight. Durham Smythe was awful tonight. Julian Hill was awful tonight. Liam Eichenberg was a disaster tonight. Isaiah Wynn got pushed over and got injured because he couldn't hold back. He got himself crushed. Austin Jackson took a stupid penalty. Kendall Lamb got bullied today. It was just one of those games. Robert Hunt did whatever he had to do, but in the end, Tua made a crucial mistake at a bad time. And I want to also tell you why I'm blaming this partly on Mike McDaniel. His route running was off today. If you noticed in the game, 2 or 3 times we had 2 runners within 5 yards of each other.
Yep,
they were confused today. He overthought, and I'm telling you, you know when I thought we were going to lose this game? You know when I thought we were going to lose this game? The moment he flea flickered. I go, you're losing the game right now. And instead of you're trying to be cute, where your flea flicker, you got sacked on your flea flicker. You got sacked on your flea flicker. And I go to myself, what are you doing? And Jerome Baker may have had a nice interception today, but the man in coverage has no effort. He doesn't even run fast. He doesn't even run hard.
Who was it? Oh, God.
And I want to tell you this right now, Danny Crossman. Danny Crossman should be fired. The fact that they are able to get 50 yards on us on a kick return is beyond me again. And the ability of this defense to tackle is beyond me. Did they lose this football game? Yes. But did the Eagles play a superb game where they dominated us on all three facets of the game? No, they didn't. We gave them some of those points. We should have kicked the field goal when we went for it on 4th down, and Tua should not have thrown that football. He should have kicked another field goal. That would have changed they would have changed the trajectory of the field. Instead, we were going for 4th downs, and we're not the Eagles when we're going for 4th downs because we're forcing the ball and we're throwing it, and those were poorly called plays. Mike McDaniel did not coach a great game today. Vic Fangio coached an okay game, but he's still not as advertised. And overall, the star players did not come out today. Tyreek Hill had 2 crucial drops that would have kept the drives going. And Tua, did he throw a bad interception? Yes. But the rest of the time, the offensive line did not give him a chance. The guy didn't even have a second to react. When he's picking up snap balls off the ground or 15 feet in the air and he's falling on the ground, they're throwing it away. When he got sacked, he literally did not have a second to react to hiking that ball. So I don't put this game on Tua. Tua had 1 bad throw, but Hurts had 2. We didn't lose the turnover battle today. I put this on the offensive line. I put it on the play calling, and I put it on the inability of this defense to stop the big play, period. That is why we lost that football game.
So let me see. Yeah, Cedric Wilson had some nice catches. I was very impressed with him today. He made some big time catch in the corner there. Even someone on the Eagles sideline, you could hear them on camera go, "Whoa!" It's pretty. So I'm happy for Wilson. I mean, still a loss, but
I love these Eagles fans. They boo. Oh. I love these Eagles fans. I want to say something. This is the same fans that boo when they're taking a kneel down, when taking a kneel down with 26 seconds left heading into the half. This is a team. I don't want to hear from these Eagles fans who will boo their mother if this person looks at them. At least we still support our team. I never said I don't support my team. I said tonight, I'll take this loss. The Dolphins lost this football game. I don't care that we lost, Jason. I don't care that we lost. It's the integrity of football, period. If you're a Rams fan today or you're a Colts fan fighting for a playoff spot, how do you feel? I'm talking about the overall conceptual idea of the game. Please, you don't tell me the Eagle fans were complaining and bitching and complaining last week when they lost to the Jets and how they were screwed over? Give me a freaking break.
Anyway, Jason, we appreciate you watching. Again, this is the post-game show, so it's always raw emotion, raw reaction, especially after a loss. It's actually
I don't care that we lost. I don't care that we lost.
I'm going to have to mute his mic in a second because I keep trying to talk. He says he doesn't care, but he keeps going. But anyway, we appreciate you tuning in. Again, the channel, we don't just talk Dolphins. We talk everything. We have basketball, football, wrestling, everything of the above. So we appreciate you watching. Hope you do hit that subscribe button. It sounds like you don't care they lost. Dave. Evan muted his own mic. Is that what just happened? That's hilarious. Okay. Still a winnable game, and we lost. Frustrating. Yes, that's the problem. It did feel like it was a winnable football game at certain points. But again, I mean, the strengths of the Eagles and the weaknesses of the Dolphins were easy to spot. We talk about Bobby's shirts. What's up, man? What's up? Look at the hat. What's going on? What's up, Ray? Don't be coming at me, Ray. I didn't run the Dolphins. I just do the show. Hey, man, coming at my shirts. I'll wear another one next episode. I got a lot of them. Anyway. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad you like it. But anywho, look, I did beginning before the show, Fish Tank and I yesterday. Fish Tank, again, had the Eagles winning, beating the Dolphins 42-35. I figured it was going to be a low-scoring game. I had 27-24, almost turned into that. And again, what I discussed. Miami's secondary could not stop Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs. I did not think they were going to be able to stop A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Credit Devontae Smith today, A.J. Brown, 10 receptions, 137 yards, and a touchdown. Dallas Goddard, whatever how do you say his last name, 5 receptions, 77 yards, and a touchdown. Just tells you about our linebackers. Devontae, 4 receptions, 50 yards. Miami's receiving unit. Well, my point about that is we've seen that Miami has struggled against star receivers. Again, they made Thielen look like he was back to his old ways with Minnesota, with Carolina last week. We saw that live, Evan. Look what they did with Stephon Diggs. Followed up today what they've done with A.J. Brown. called it before the game. It popped up, and that's the way it is. Offensive line for the Eagles showed up. They manhandled the Dolphins' defensive line. And you talk about the tush push. Hey, look, again, what that said to me, what did I call a couple of weeks ago or say that I'm hoping for? The Miami makes a play for a defensive tackle. All right? I am the king of butchering names. That's what I'm famous for. If you know who I'm talking about, just live with it. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, absolutely, Hunter. I hope you enjoy the hat, brother. We got to get in contact with Ender, get him his hat. The one he wanted was sold out, but we appreciate that you got the hat. We appreciate you always watching. We got a lot of more giveaways coming out. We actually have the giveaway for Blake Ferguson signed item for whoever donates to the Dolphins Challenge Cancer. And I'm glad that your wife loves it. I think it's awesome, brother. Thank you for doing that. But that tush push, look, absolutely, it's frustrating. It was frustrating every time because you knew they were going to get it. But I'm not in a sense of, oh, get rid of it. No, I'm more of, you have to stop it. It's a stoppable play. You can do it. I think it just showed Miami getting bullied. Miami got bullied today. And that's just what it is. Tua, again, 23 of 32, 216 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Again, bad decision on the interception, in my opinion. There was 3 defensive backs in that area. It was just a very bad decision. Tyreek Hill played like Tyreek Hill. He did add a couple drops, but again, 11 receptions, 88 yards, 1 touchdown. Waddle had some good plays, 63 yards. Mozart, he was just getting stifled, and I don't put that on him. I put that on our line. They gave no room for him. My wife hears tush push and she thinks dirty. Anyway, she's now checking up tush push. She's like, wait, what is that? I want to know. Anyway, but I don't blame Raheem. Offensive line played like what we feared at the beginning of the year, in my opinion. And Steve, I know Steve's in the comments right now. I don't know if he agrees or disagrees. I'd love to know his opinion. Hey, Jerome Baker, positive note. Baker comes up with an interception after a tip pass by Kader Kohu. Kudos to him. He was our leading defensive player tonight in regards of tackles and having a pick. Thinking, again, I think I'm not putting it on our defense. I think our defense, they let them score, but that's the number 2 offense in the NFL. What did we expect? Okay. The offense needed to step up. The offense struggles. This is the number 1 offense in the NFL. This is the historic making offense right now in the NFL. Still, after today, they are still the number 1 offense in the NFL and making history right now. But they struggle against top 10 defenses. Okay? Look very nice when you're playing top 15, top 20, top 30 defenses. You look really good, but you got to get the job done against those top 10 defenses. The Eagle was 1, and you didn't show up. You only scored 7 points. How many points did you score against the Buffalo Bills? How many points did this offense score against the New England Patriots? Uncharacteristic, right? Not uncharacteristic if you're counting against top 10 defenses. Miami has to prove, yes, Tatiana is my wife, Hunter. That is my wife. If you hear a little giggle on the side, that's her on the end. She's watching. That pick was on Waddle. I bet he ran the wrong route. Twisted timing. Quarterback Slade was there, but ran away. Yeah, and I'll have to go back and look, Jason. Again, I think there's too many Eagle defenders on that play to make that pass at that time. There are other guys available. To me, I would have threw it away. That's just me. Steve agrees with the offensive line talk. As we continue here, again, Evan is a little under the weather. He has muted his mic. He is just waiting to have his opportunity, and I will give it to him now in regards of, I know you're always watching. I don't know how easy this is going to be, this question. It's a little hard on me. I might have a couple. Top 3 studs and duds, Evan. Do you have any studs for this game?
Jason Sanders.
Oh, okay. A rare one. Got it. All right. I like it.
I'm thinking. Waddle for coming back, because I don't blame Waddle for how he played. He got us key downs when we needed it. Like, I don't blame him for that.
Fair enough.
And Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson was great today.
True.
So I'll take back Waddle. I'll take Cedric Wilson. I'll take back Waddle. Cedric Wilson was great tonight.
Okay.
And Braxton Berrios, because every time he got us yards, he gave us great field position every time he took the ball out of the end zone. Every time. He got us past the 30. So the defense, to me, they better do something at the trade deadline to shore up that defensive line. And I will make a prediction now, or a thought. I don't want Christian Wilkins on our football team next year at over $20 million. If it's 15,
okay. I was about to say, God dang.
At 15 million, maybe, but he's going to want more.
No, I agree with you. I'm with you.
We've already made that mistake with Chubb.
Yep.
We overpaid him. Because you wonder what Chubb not being able to capture Hurts today twice or 2-3 times when he got out of the pocket. Shame on Bradley Chubb. Then, for me, Christian Wilkins, and then you have Emmanuel Ogbah, who did nothing today. But also Mike McDaniel, the fact that at one point he didn't utilize Chase Claypool at all. And shame on Vic Fangio. I don't care if Cam Smith's not ready. I don't care. Eli Apple was struggling. You should have put Cater Kogu in the slot.
Eli Apple had no effort. That's the guy who was talking about. There was a play with a run around, and Eli Apple's just jogging.
Yeah. The same thing with Jerome Baker. Cater Kogu, put him in the goddamn slot and let Cam Smith get burned. I don't care. You have nothing to lose at this point. Put him there.
So
you drafted him in the second round, and you've yet to let him see the field. Now I'm going to rip Greer because this should be forced on by Greer. Tyndall gets special teams work. No effort on never to get him in the regular play as a spy, and he has speed across both sideline to sideline. Then also and then the same thing with Cam Smith. And I don't care if Robert Jones is not perfect. Anything but Lester Cotton. Lester Cotton was disgusting today. He was pathetic. Robert Jones is a good offensive lineman, even at 50%. What this shows right now tonight, and I will give kudos to people who flag it, the depth on this team, when they're struggling, is poor.
Yep.
And a 50% X and a 50% Teron Armstead and a 75% Connor Williams and a 80% Robert Jones and a returning Jeff Wilson over Savon Ahmed, I'll take it all day long. Because Mike McDaniel basically was comfortable easily losing this game today by keeping Howard out, by keeping Williams out, by keeping Needham out, and not utilizing Jeff Wilson. He didn't care about winning this football game today because he didn't adapt and adjust and use players. Because like was it Jeff who said it? I can't remember already. Jason said it. Slay wasn't 100%. Neither was Lane Johnson. Neither was Jalen Carter. But they played anyways. Yeah. Because every game counts in a 17-game season. The Dolphins needed Connor Williams tonight, even at 50%.
Absolutely agree.
They needed Xavier Howard, even at 50% with a pulled groin.
100% agree.
Mike McDaniel hedged his bet tonight and overthought this game. Didn't take it seriously because it was not an interconference game. And Vic Fangio right now is, I'll put it to you this way. Josh Boyer is a better defensive coordinator after 7 games than Vic Fangio is for this Miami Dolphins team, for this lineup. The defense has played better under Josh Boyer than they have under Vic Fangio.
So,
and the Vic Fangio is going to be stubborn. I had this in hockey once. I had this with my team in Montreal. We had an old school coach. Who would not play his young players and always went to the veterans, even though the younger players need time to develop and be better. Mike McDaniel is the young coach. I understand Vic Fangio, who I like, is leaving it. He's leaving it to him, but he should be coming to him and saying, play Cam Smith. He's saying, oh, Cam Smith will play when he has time. We had a package for Claypool and you couldn't find a time to use it. Are you kidding me? When Waddle went out, you should have been using Claypool on the fact that you have Chase Claypool and you've yet to throw one reception to him. The fact that you've had Chosen all season off the last 3 games in the practice squad and you only threw it to him in a 70-point game. Mike McDaniel's becoming a prisoner of his star players and not you spreading the ball around. When is the last time you heard Durham Smythe catch a football? 4 games ago? You're on mute.
Sorry, I muted myself.
You once said to me, and also I will tell you this right now. And I love what Hunter said also before. Vic Fangio up there is the biggest mistake he's made.
You have said that in the past.
Get on the goddamn sideline. Wink Martindale's on the sideline. The Giants have been playing much better on defense. Steve Spagnuolo is on the sideline. Okay? The star defensive players are Bill Belichick, you know, is a defensive coordinator. He's on the freaking sideline. I know he's the head coach. There's a reason why you should not be in the booth. You need to be in front of your players and getting collusion. Sean, you were Sean Desai, who you liked as our defensive coordinator. You know where he was today?
I know. I saw him. Trust me, I saw him. I saw him. He was there.
Right now, Vic Fangio gets an F for his performance as a defensive coordinator for this team.
Can I just? There's several points I want to make. Okay, and I agree with most, if not all, of what you were just saying. And a lot, what Hunter is saying. First of all, I've been back and forth on this a little bit. And I kind of teased it a little bit a couple weeks back, if you remember. Usually remember a lot. So about Fangio, I really do believe he's one and done this season. He's one and done. I do not see him being more than 2 seasons. He's at a jump ship, go to another job, or just retire. That's where I stand. Here's my solution for that. Mike McDaniel, next offseason, win, lose, or draw, whatever the hell happens before the end of the season, go get a defensive coordinator who's your clone on defense. A young, hungry guy who wants to make a name for himself. All right? Go get that guy, bring him in here, and mold the defense.
He may not get that chance.
To his image.
I don't think he's going to get that chance.
Who?
If the Dolphins don't go deep in the playoffs today and they're one and done in the playoffs, again, I have this weird feeling.
Don't say it.
That Ross is going to clear house. Period. He's going to clear it. He is going to destroy because he's 80-something years old. If Mike McDaniel 2 years in a row does the same thing that Brian Flores did, which is you got to the playoffs, but Stephen Ross is not what this team is not hoping for a playoff win. He's working for a deep playoff. And you know what the frustrating part about me today with Mike McDaniel was and Vic Fangio? You had the opportunity to go 2-up on the Bills, who stink right now.
Yeah.
You did not take this game seriously.
This felt, or that situation where you just said feels like old school Dolphins. You have an opportunity to pull yourself away. You kept it just short. And 5-year contract, are we talking about Fangio's deal? Look, with coaches, that's different. I'm not worried about the 5-year deal.
Buy him out, the money's nothing.
Yeah, I have no, again, and I'm not saying fire him or nothing like that. I am saying my suspicion is that he's one and done. And again, I'm saying, and I was going to say, Evan, before you made your point, if he's still the coach, I didn't want to go that far just yet. Can I just say, am I wrong? Would you agree with me that Miami needs to find a coach? To me, you got to find a coach who's young and hungry, like McDaniel, a guy who fits within his image on defense, who's on the sideline, like a Desai, like a Chris Richard. I disagree. Okay.
The reason I disagree
Go ahead.
Because Mike McDaniel, when his offense is going, has found the right quarterback for his system that he wants to work with. Vic Fangio, no matter who you bring in, you've yet to. I said this again. Who crapped the bet? By the way, do you remember who threw a game-ending interception today?
Let me just touch this very quick before I forget. I don't want to lose my mind because you were just saying he has his quarterback. When McDaniel came in, there was nobody he brought with him except when Tyreek got traded.
He chose to keep him.
He got Tua. Whatever that interview was before, whether they say, hey, you got to have Tua for at least a season, whatever. But he embraced Tua. He said, look, you don't have to fit our system. We're going to fit our system around you.
This is his DC.
Okay, hold on.
I don't think.
But this is my point. DC. Here's my point. When our D coordinator came in, he said, we don't have the right personnel right now. We're trying to make this work. He came out and said right away, he didn't say, no, we got the right guys. We're going to get this going. He said, we don't have the right guys yet. He said that. And a lot of us chose to ignore him and say, no, we're going to have a top 10 defense. Credit. He said it first, and we don't. Our defense is struggling. So, again, that's why I'm saying we need a head coach or a defensive coordinator who, with the talent that we have on this roster that's there, comes in saying, I can work with these guys. Here's the other pieces that we got to get, but I can work with these guys. Not going to come out straight and say before the game even played, saying we have the wrong group of guys, or we don't have the perfect amount of position. No. McDaniel came and goes, and this is what they said. This guy who left, I forgot his name, who left Miami. He said that after he left, McDaniel tells every player, he says, we're going to get the best out of you. He doesn't go, you're the wrong guy for this team. Yeah. We're going to get the best out of you. That's why Eichenberg is starting. That's what and Eichenberg had a good game last week, not this week. We need a coach on defense.
Shame on Mike McDaniel. But that's where I put it. I don't care if it's Frank Smith. Mike McDaniel should be ashamed of himself that he allowed no depth at center. The fact that they're so stubborn to have Liam Eichenberg as a makeshift player who doesn't belong there. First, he was the left tackle. 2 years ago, he was the left tackle. Last year, he's the left guard. This year, he's the left guard backup center. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The difference is, and the problem is for Fangio, and let me ask you something. When you think of the Dallas Cowboys defense, what name comes to mind?
Micah Parsons.
When you think of the LA Rams and you think of their defense, who comes to mind?
Aaron Donald.
When you think of the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, who comes to mind?
TJ Watt.
Okay. When you think of the Cleveland Browns, who do you think of?
Myles Garrett.
When you think of the Miami Dolphins defense for Vic Fangio, the player he wants on that field to be that guy is a game or two away from playing. His prized possession when he came here was Jalen Ramsey. So until Jalen Ramsey comes on this field and makes his mark because he's the best corner in the league, and if our defense continues to suck, then we have a bigger problem. But like I said, I think our defense, without Tua, our offense goes nowhere. Without Jalen Ramsey, I believe our defense goes nowhere.
I don't know. I think we're putting too much on him right now.
I'm not. But today, you saw what Myles Garrett can do in the game. You saw what Micah Parsons can do in the game. You saw what TJ Watt can do in the game.
How many secondary guys did we talk about on that list?
When you
Miami's issues. Miami's issues overall, it's a part of the issue. Miami's secondary is a part of the issue, but that's not the main issue with the Dolphins.
But the
main issue is the defensive line and linebacker.
When you thought of the Steelers, you thought of Troy Polamalu. When you think of the Jets, even though he got injured, it's Sauce Gardner. Even though they have a great defensive front, you don't think of Quinn Williams right away. You think of Sauce Gardner. You think about the big star on that defense. Mm-hmm. That's the big difference.
So, I mean, I hope you're right. But anyway, let me just say
that's the missing thing.
Let me go through.
By the way, Connor Williams today would have made such a difference, and I said that in the pregame show. Liam Eichenberg, was lost. He was lost. Did you see Jason Kelce on Dallas Goedert? By the way, didn't Dallas Goedert look very similar to Adam Thielen again this year? That's why I wanted Kader Kohou in the slot. If you have Kader Kohou in the slot and you have Howard and Ramsey on either end, you have a great secondary. Without X tonight, you got destroyed. You got destroyed. And I would have played him. I don't care. The fact that he was working it out, the fact that he couldn't and he said he was playing on Friday, Mike McDaniel yanked him.
Yeah,
and I have a problem with that because he's trying to protect his player from himself. I don't want to hear this nonsense anymore. It's a football game.
I hear you. So the next points I want to talk about, I think somebody said linebacker, middle linebacker. Yeah, excuse me. So for me at the deadline right now for Miami, I'm saying go after a defensive tackle and a middle linebacker.
I would trade Wilkins tomorrow.
Somebody said that too. So, and again, that was my next point. Regards of Cedric
I'd cut Liam Eichenberg tomorrow and bring up Yolave.
Hold on. Cedric Wilkins. Christian Wilkins, excuse me, not Cedric. Christian Wilkins. He's playing on the final year of his deal. I know we could franchise him. He wants over 20 plus. I'm not willing to give him that. Okay. I said, what did we talk about? We said 15 to 18 million. I think what we discussed a couple weeks after last week I said I would give him 18 and a half. Now he's back down to 15 and I will never move again. But my thing is, he should be ashamed if the Dolphins need to make a decision right now, are you going to pay him or aren't you?
Cut him.
Don't lose him for nothing.
I trade him.
Do not lose him for nothing.
I trade him tomorrow.
Don't Kasicki him. Trade him before you lose him for nothing.
I would trade him tomorrow.
And tight end, absolutely.
But there's so many.
You just said, where's Smythe? We joked about. I'm about to sneeze. We joked about Gronkowski. Excuse me. Because Gronkowski said he played for the Dolphins. But I'm not saying Gronkowski. I'm not advocating or nothing. But Miami needs to have a tight end threat.
By the way,
yes, you need a guy who can block, but you need a tight end threat.
Can I make a point?
Why not?
The Dolphins, the way they did not look. They at the end of the game, I know it's just a football game.
Yeah.
But this happens with their losses. They're too laid back right now. Like Cheetah admitted on Twitter that he has to be better. He didn't have a great game tonight for 80 yards. He didn't have a great game. They're too chill. They're too nice. That's the problem. I said that to you on the pregame show. This team is too nice. There's no. They take lazy penalties. They don't take rough penalties. They are. There's no. If I'm a team, I'm not afraid to face the Miami Dolphins. Their offense does scare you, but if you have a good defense, I'm not afraid to play this team because this team does not look mean. They do not look angry. They don't put the foot on the gas. Like it kind of reminds me when they the whole thing with karma with the 73. That Miami Dolphins team showed, Mike McDaniel showed that you're not willing to put your foot on their throat and to end it and to really end it. You're willing to let karma be your guiding force, and that's going to end up hurting you because teams like Kansas City and Philly and Cincinnati and even Buffalo, who's gone further, and San Francisco and the Rams, they're not going to do this. You think Mike Tomlin is going to today? Mike McDaniel is too nice again. And by the way, I want to tell you this right now. Why shame on Mike McDaniel on why Liam Eichenberg should be cut? They took 2 timeouts because Liam Eichenberg wasn't ready under center on the first play of the down.
Yeah, he took
twice. They ate 2 timeouts because Liam Eichenberg could not snap the ball fast enough. That I put on Mike McDaniel, not even on Butch Berry. You approve the fact that Liam Eichenberg is on your O-line. You approve that he is your center over Ulave, who's actually a starting center in college. That is on the head coach. The way the team played, Fangio can have a poor game. In the end, it falls on the head coach. And Mike McDaniel did not coach the game tonight like he coached in San Francisco and like he coached in San Diego and the LA Chargers and how he coached in Buffalo. This is his 4th very poorly coached game against very good teams, and he's not doing well. He's not doing well.
Let me ask you this, because this conversation is going to come up because some people already have said it in the comments, and I know people are saying it on Twitter. We already touched on this, so I know where we both stand overall on the team. We're not ready to say that they're pretenders yet, correct?
I am.
What?
They're pretenders.
You're calling the Dolphins pretenders?
Right now, at this exact moment, until I see Jalen Ramsey.
Okay.
Until I see a full lineup of Teron Armstead, Connor Williams, Xavier Howard, Jalen Ramsey, and Devon Achane on this football field, and they beat a team that has a top 10 defense and a top 10 offense.
Okay.
They're pretenders to me.
Okay.
Because they are a quarterback. What they showed tonight is they're a quarterback away.
Yeah.
From the season being over. And they proved tonight that without Teron Armstead and Connor Williams, this O-line is not so good. And they proved that the secondary cannot be without Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard. Because the last time they had a stout defense, they had Byron Jones and X. They had 2 shutdown corners. They don't have 2 shutdown corners. And Javon Holland is a ghost of himself without those.
Let me just respond to that very quick. Because I said it before the show. Hold on.
They're pretenders right now. They have yet to prove to me.
I heard you.
They're pretenders.
I heard you. So for me, again, I'm not ready to call them pretenders yet.
Pretenders.
Unless I will. That's a conversation I will have, or a topic I will extend on upon against the Chiefs. If they fall against the Chiefs in Germany, I'll call them pretenders.
No, I won't.
Stop. Hold on. You call them pretenders now. What do you mean you won't?
I said they're pretenders now till they get their till they get their stars back. If they have a full roster and they have at least Jalen Ramsey and at least Teron Armstead or Connor Williams, then I'll make a final decision. The way they are right now, they're pretenders because like Brett loves to say, Greer likes to have injured players. This is an injury-prone star-starter,
and that's going to be the way it is. But I'm talking. No, it's not about injured players. It's about how they play against playoff competition, against
with
top 10
against
top 10 defenses. They're the number one offense in the NFL. They are the number one offense in the NFL without Teron Armstead, without Connor Williams. No, wait. Stop. I let you talk for 20 minutes. You keep interrupting me. Let me finish my point. The fact of the matter is, without those guys, they were still. Kendall Lamb is like the 17th best tackle in football out of 40-something that I saw today. I'm not worried about Teron Armstead. He's not even a part of this team until he's on it. He's always freaking injured. I'm not worried about him. Connor Williams last week wasn't there. Miami won the game. Eichenberg played a great game. The Dolphins are still the number one offense. But against top 10 defenses, against the Buffalo Bills, which everybody said, you, Alex, and everyone else said the Buffalo Bills were going to take a big step back. They haven't done anything. Every team we play that's beat us, you go, they haven't beat anybody good, Bobby. That's why we're going to win. They beat our ass. Fact or fiction? Fact. The Dolphins offense, the number one in the NFL, struggle against top 10 defenses. The team is not a pretender. They're still in contention. We'll see what happens against the Chiefs. But you know who could be a pretender? This offense. The offense, you could argue, is a pretender. Because top 30 defenses, you're freaking amazing. Against top 10 defenses, you crap the bed. You want to talk about pretender? So let's talk about the offense. The team overall, I'm not ready to have that conversation against the Chiefs. And that could have Armstead. That could be without Connor Williams. That could be again without Achane. That could be without Ramsey, who hasn't been here all year. You can leave them all out. The Miami Dolphins crap again against the Chiefs, then we could have a conversation. Crap. If they crap the bed against the Patriots, it's a conversation. But let's not pretend that it's going to switch. Oh, when we get everybody healthy, watch. Stop. Without healthy, the team's still the number one offense in the NFL. Without being healthy, they're 5-2. They need to win the games that are meant to be, that are the fight. Win a fight. You haven't won a fight yet. You're beating the teams you're supposed to beat. You're not winning the games that people are questioning you on. You're falling short against the Bills, and you fell short against the Philadelphia Eagles. You crap the bed against the Chiefs because we figure they're going to win against the Patriots next week. You lose against the Chiefs, now you're in conversation to be a pretender because you're not winning the playoff games. You could throw 70 points on the Denver Broncos all you want. You could throw 44 points after dropping 14-0 against the Carolina Panthers. That doesn't make you a contender. What makes you a contender is winning these football games. Now, again, you're saying you're ready to call them pretender because all their guys are out and they're not winning. Because they lost tonight, but it's a fluctuating thing. I'm not ready to do that yet because I consider everything. If you lose against the Chiefs, you're a pretender. You're having that conversation. But right now, what I'm ready to say pretender on is the offense. You're supposedly the number one offense in football, but you couldn't get the job done. You couldn't score more than 31 points against the Eagles because you struggle against top 10 defenses. It looks very nice against top 30, top 20 defenses. Top 10, you don't play like it. You only scored 7 points tonight. 7 points. The number one quarterback in the NFL, the number one receiver in the NFL, the number one rushing team in the NFL offensively scored 7 points. And that's referees or not. They scored 7 points. How many points offensively, not the field goals, did they score against the Buffalo Bills? They have not showed up when needed. It's not the team that's pretenders right now. It's the offense right now, in my opinion. The offense needs to show up against those top 10 defenses. They need to show up against the Patriots next week. They got to put up 30 points and plus. They need to show up against the Chiefs next week. They have to show up like they did against the Chargers. Not the Chargers top 10 defense, but they got to have to have a shootout with the Chiefs, and they need to win that game. Stop putting up 7-10 points, 7 to 14 points against top 10 defenses. Do your job. The team's not a pretender yet. I'm not ready to say that. Too early for me. Offense is playing like a pretender. That's where I stand. Bobby, how about if we lose to the Chiefs in a close game? Are they still pretenders? That's why I say, Eric, great point. But that's why I'm saying I'm ready to have that conversation after the Chiefs games. If the Dolphins get blown out by Kansas City, like they did against the Buffalo Bills, they're pretenders. If it's a close game, it's a conversation. It's a conversation. But we'll see how that game goes. I hope they do, Hunter. I hope they do smack up the Patriots 20+. But that's where I stand. There's my rant. I had to put mine in there, fit in my 5 minutes in this hour show before I let Evan finish us out. But Emmanuel Acho says, realistically, the Dolphins won't see another surefire playoff team until week 16. We play the Chiefs, upon which they play the Cowboys, then the Ravens, and then the Bills. I really wish the Dolphins had a win if it's against a good opponent. Hopefully that's against the Chiefs, Emmanuel. Anyway. All right. We're at the hour. It's late. We're heated. No, not if it's a close one. Bills by 28, Eagles could have been won by 21. Evan, any final thoughts or words before we close out? Any response to what the hell I said?
Simple question to you.
It's never simple.
Yeah, it is. Very simple. How many points did the offense play well today?
No.
The offense play well against the Buffalo Bills?
No.
Last year against the Chargers, did they play well?
No.
Against the 49ers, did they play well?
I thought you said this was a simple question.
That's a very simple question. It's really going to solve your answer. Did they play well against the 49ers last year?
No.
In the playoff game against the Bills, did the offense play well?
No.
Who is in charge of the offense?
The coach.
He's a pretender. Mike McDaniel's the pretender right now.
But what there's no blame on the players?
And
let's talk about this season.
But he never adjusted. He did not adjust again today to the fact that why are you using Savon Ahmed? Savon Ahmed had 4 runs.
Do your
up
job.
The middle.
The players need to do their job.
Savon Ahmed down the sidelines. Utilize Chase Claypool. He used Savon Ahmed over Chase Claypool today, or Jeff Wilson. My point is Mike McDaniel today, when the offense was struggling, and also we lost. What was the time of possession again today? Was the third game? Oh gosh,
I don't know, but I think the Eagles beat us, didn't they? Time of possession.
They destroyed us. 30.
I can't stand the Eagles coach. I can't look at his face, dude.
Who? I hate the Eagles coach. I hate
his face.
His face is a putz. It's a face you want to smack. The same way you see Bryce Harper, you want to smack him. Anything.
So wait, what was the time of possession? I'm sorry.
36-43 to 23-17.
That's ridiculous. Oh, I see here. 30. That's ridiculous.
It's not about the blocking, Steve, tonight. It has to do with the fact that you waited too long to adjust to the running game in the second half. You should have figured something out. We're the first team to have
Manny, what's up, brother?
We're the first team to have negative yards in the first half, I think, in I don't know how many years. He never adjusted to how to utilize the running game today. And this is the run guru that figured it out for the first 7 games. And I don't want to hear about the defensive front. Every team has a defense. And this is a great defense. I understand that. But Mike McDaniel, in the end, the players shit the bed. But so did the coach. The coach is just as responsible for this as anybody else. But we know what this proves, and it reiterates it for me. Defenses win championships, no matter how great your offense is. Ratio on serve.
100% agree with you.
Who had the best offense a couple of years ago? Tom Brady didn't have the best offense going in against the Chiefs. Who won that Super Bowl? It wasn't the Kansas City. It wasn't Tom Brady. It was the defense of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when we wanted a Levante David, and we wanted to look up, we need a player like that in that middle. We do not have it.
Yeah.
And Mike McDaniel right now is too comfortable again in his position. I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked. Yeah. I'm not kidding. They should win the next 2 games. I'm telling you right now, I want Jalen Ramsey on that sideline. I want him playing on that Patriots game. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If he doesn't play, he does not play, I'm making this prediction right now.
Got it.
Right now.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Ramsey is not playing on defense.
Yeah.
If X is not playing on defense this coming Sunday, if Connor Williams is not at center on Sunday, the egg you think we hatched tonight, we're going to lay an egg against New England.
So let me get this straight. Now, is you saying as a group, or you're saying one play? Like, let's say Howard's playing, Connor's playing.
They need.
Hold on. Let me just ask you like this. Let me
three.
answer. Okay, so if Connor's playing, Howard's playing, but Ramsey's out, are you still calling for a loss?
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to know why I'm calling for a loss?
I know why.
Because this team needs to rev itself up to face a team like the Chiefs.
I got you.
This game right now was a reactive game. We thought X was playing till they announced the inactives. Everyone thought on Friday the mindset of X was that he was playing. It was a last-minute shock to the system.
Yeah.
Connor Williams not playing was a shock to the system. Jeff Wilson not hitting the field when he was active tonight was a shock to the system.
Let me run down these numbers very quickly.
Like, why do you bench Robbie Chosen and play Chase Claypool if you don't use him?
Well, let's say first off, Manny's in the house.
Yeah,
Manny's in the house.
Who called the Patriots beating the Bills? I'm telling you this right now. There's a gut feeling right now that Mike McDaniel.
But I was going to say, and it's so true though that I knew you were going to say that, and I'm sorry I missed your call. I had a headache, so I took a quick nap.
Bearded didn't believe me. I was right.
But listen, when it comes to outside our team predictions, you're like, it's like what? Say something. Okay, so you said they're going to lose next week if they don't have one of those guys. I hope you stick with that prediction because maybe we'll win that game. Anyway, first off, Manny, I don't know how long you've been on, but if you just tune in, Manny, I know. Manny, you should have been here a little earlier at the start of the show, brother. We were, I know, and I'm gonna watch that tomorrow morning on my way to work. But we were having a lot of fun. But let me just run by the numbers very quick before we wrap this up. Total yards for the Dolphins on offense, 244 offensive yards. That's 199 passing and 45 yards rushing. Where the offense for the Philadelphia Eagles, 244 for Miami, 355 for the Philadelphia Eagles. 199 for the Dolphins passing, 256 for the Eagles. 99 yards rushing, Eagles, Miami 45. Yards per play were pretty close, 5.2 to 5.1. First downs, this is ridiculous. 26 first downs for the Eagles, 12 first downs for Miami. Third down efficiency, right on the money for both teams. Eagles 4 for 12, Miami 4 for 11. Fourth down, Dolphins were 0-2, Eagles were 4 for 4, tush push. Total plays, the Eagles had 68 plays on offense, 48 plays for the Dolphins. 20 play difference there. Sacks allowed, Miami had allowed 4 sacks tonight, where the Eagles allowed 3. Miami punted 3 times to the Eagles 1.
By the way, Jake Bailey is
he's horrible.
He is an awful punter.
I don't know what happened. That dude used to be good, man. Like all the talk we said about Jason Sanders, all joking aside, that should be all levied to Jake Bailey. We need to find a new punter.
Oh my God. Matt Turk couldn't have been that bad. Matt Turk couldn't have been that bad.
15-yard punts are not the way to go. 20-yard, whatever. Anyway, we all know about the penalties. We're all livid. It's ridiculous. It's all this. You hammered it pretty good at home at the beginning of the show.
And by the way, the Bills and the Eagles have yet to play a phenomenal game. They're winning these games, but they're not the same team as last year. I'm sorry. They're not. They were beatable tonight. Tonight.
And again, that's the point. That's the point.
And by the way, my prediction of 31-23 was with the expectation that Connor Williams and X were going to be there. The fact that they weren't there.
Don't switch it up.
I'm not. I knew right away when I said I told you I didn't trust Eli Apple.
I know. No, you did. You did. I know.
That I said. You want to go listen to the tape? I said I
don't have to listen to it.
Play, and I expect Connor Williams to play. If those 2 players play, we'll win 31-23. Those 2 players, I'm telling you right now, would have made a significant difference on the O-line and the secondary tonight. I'm sorry, they would have.
So let me just say again, we know about the penalties: 10-0, 10 penalties for Miami, 0 for the Eagles. The Eagles played a clean game. I mean, one of the best games I ever saw. For Philly in regards of penalties. The Eagles did lose a fumble. Both teams threw an interception. And again, time of possession, Evan. That's just
3 games in a row.
36 minutes, 43 seconds for the Eagles.
Whose fault is that? That's on Mike McDaniel? and that's on Jacangio. They can't get the guy off the field. This happened last year. Remember I said this?
Yeah.
Josh Boyer's biggest issue was the fact that his defensive front, his team, the defense played an extra game.
I agree with you, Hunter. They did play their best game tonight. They did. The Eagles.
Yeah, they did play their best game tonight. They played up to their They played against their competition. But I'll make a prediction right now. You ready, Manny? The Eagles are going to lose next week.
Who are they playing next week?
The team they lost last year too, because Ron Rivera is pissed, and they're going to go into Washington in the same way they lost to Washington last year. In Washington, they're going to lose again.
Yeah,
it's an interdivisional game. They struggle against the Commanders. They're going to lose to the Washington Commanders next week. You heard it here first,
guys. We're at the hour. It's 12:31 Eastern time. We appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with us.
I don't appreciate me. I'm an asshole.
And just for the kids watching out there, I'm so sorry for Uncle Evan FinStanza. I've warned him multiple times not to do that. So just ignore him. Okay. He'll be better next show. I promise. Okay. But I appreciate everybody watching. Hunter, Manny, Eric, all the Eagle fans that tune in tonight. We do appreciate you watching. We hope it's not your last time. Ray, Justin, Cap, Uno, Dave, everyone tuning in, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, hit that like and subscribe button. Yes, sir.
I was reading before. You know how you know the refs were bad tonight? When the Jets feel bad for the Dolphins. When Jets fans are feeling bad.
Yeah, I saw that. Only positive today, New England Patriots won. Yep.
Like, do you ever see the movie Necessary Roughness?
Excuse me. No.
It was with Sapakula, where he plays for Texas State. He's an old quarterback who never got to go back to college. But there was this one guy on the team. They had to play Iron Man football, and one of the players on their defense, literally like a ninja. And one of the plays, he literally kicked. He literally did karate to every offensive player, and then the refs started running out of things to do. Had the defense of the Philadelphia Eagles did that to the Dolphins offense, they still wouldn't have called a penalty. That's what it felt like tonight. It didn't matter what they did. It just didn't matter what they did. And that's what got me going tonight. And then why it exacerbated the cost of the game.
I hear you.
Is the fact that when Big E's posting that the last time a team did this was a team called the Pittsburgh Pirates in the NFL or the whatever league you want to call it 70 years ago, it's pretty amazing. It's pretty in the most violent sport in the world, a team doesn't get a penalty.
I told you, to me, they played
not even a pre-snap penalty. It's impossible.
Yeah, they played a clean game, man. Credit to the Philadelphia Eagles.
No, you know they didn't.
I know they didn't. Come on, don't mess with my sarcasm. You just enjoy what the hell I'm saying. Gosh, you're so FinStanza. Anyway, I don't want to miss the last comment. I'm gonna close it out now. I promise. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3.
Oh yeah,
good to see you.
Thank you. I agree.
All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember to like, subscribe, and even though we lost, we're still 5-2.
Fin
so
sideways.
Please, fins up.
Fin sideways.
Sideways.